sponsors who help make the festival happen. They are this year NBC, Genesis, and Visit Saudi. We also have official sponsors who are Saudia, SRMG, Filmalula, Shopar, STC, and TikTok. I know none of you have been waiting for me, so I can't believe that. But to get the show on the road, today we welcome Raya to moderate this session.
I do want to hear more energy from Priyanka. Make me hear that energy. Good afternoon, everyone. This is my last in conversation of this festival. I have to head back to Riyadh for Arab's Got Talent. However, I am... Oh, it's okay, one more day. I'm so excited to be chatting again with Priyanka Chopra Jonas. She is not only an extremely talented and famous person, she's also the sweetest girl, and she always has a great conversation. So let's start with a reel, and then I'll introduce her to the stage.
And Miss World is Miss India.
Priyanka Chopra.
Terrible, terrible way to mean. Appa ko Teresa ko mara tha, mere ko gussa nahi aayega.
Priyanka Chopra. Priyanka Chopra. Priyanka Chopra.
Welcome to the stage, Priyanka Chopra Jonas, everyone. You can do much better than this. Welcome, welcome.
Duty with grace.
Welcome to Jeddah.
Your microphone? You have it here, perfect. The fans are all here and we're like taken by the light, so...
Work that I wanted to do, you know, I love the movies that I did and picked, but I just wanted something a little bit more, and I wasn't being able to crack that in Bollywood at that time for whatever the circumstances were. And I got an opportunity to do music, actually. My now manager, at that time, she saw me in Bluffmaster, and somehow, you know, heard a demo I had made back then, and Jimmy Iovine, who was my A&R and mentor when I was doing the music, also saw my work and decided that, you know, that we should make a pop star from India to kind of blend the musical world. And I just thought it was such a novel idea, no one from, not realizing they actually needed me to do it in real life. So I love music. I grew up on pop music. I love musicians, and I was very excited about, you know, going in so I could make my own path.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Talking about that, so let's see if my geography is good. 2014 to 2015, Good
My
Day.
memory is not as good as yours.
Good Day, Quantico.
Quantico.
How did that year feel? Transitional?
That was a wild year. Actually, I think I was shooting Gunde and Mary Com together, and that was the year my father passed. It was a very tough year for me. It was 2013, and I was supposed to start Mary Com the month my dad died. So the sets were up. Any of you seen Mary Com? So all the boxing scenes that happened, all those sets were up. And my dad passed, and I remember Sanjay Leela Bansali had come to the funeral, and he gave me a hug and he said, "You don't need to come to work. I understand. It's totally fine. You know, we'll shut the sets down, and we'll do it when you're ready." And the one thing that my father would have never wanted me to do was not go to work. So I went back to work 4 days after his funeral because I know that's what my dad wanted to do. And I put all my grief into those fight scenes, all my grief. And because I fought so much, and like I actually, the most of my opponents were actually real boxers. So I wanted to, the filmmaker Umang, he really wanted real boxers opposite me so it looked super authentic. And I remember shooting 1 month of just fights every single day. We shot 6 fight bouts. Back to back, and then I went and shot Kunde. So I was in the best shape of my life because I'd worked out so much. And I shot Kunde after that, and it was just like Quantico happened right after that, while I was shooting Baji Ramastani actually. So it was
So that year was really...
It was wild because I was flying to New York and Montreal where we were filming Quantico. I used to fly back Friday night after Ram, come to Mumbai, and then from Mumbai fly to Wai, where we were shooting in Maharashtra. We were shooting the climax of Baji Ramastani. Shoot all of Sunday, fly back to New York Sunday, and be ready for work Monday morning. I did so many weekends of that because I did not want to give up an opportunity. And I'm hungry.
and you're immune to jet lag, I guess.
I am immune to jet lag. So again, I have a trick for people who want to travel like
Give me that trick.
It is a real functional trick. Look, I slept really well last night. I've come from Los Angeles. I'm not jet lagged at all. There's a trick to it. If you fly as much as me, whenever you get onto a long flight, sleep according to the country you're going to land into.
That's it.
That's the only trick. So even if it's midnight and you have to stay awake because it's daytime where you are, stay awake. But you will not jet lag if you follow that trick. Always. I'm so glad that song was picturized on me because it's the most authentic description of me. But it's the vibes that it works out and that I actually end up doing one next year. I really miss the dancing more than anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Begani Shadi mein Abdullah Divana, I'm Abdullah.
Let's talk about The Sky is Pink because of you also producing it. How important was that project to you at that moment in time?
I mean, I hadn't done a Hindi film for a long time and I really loved Shonali's work and it was just a really poignant story and I had met the family. I met, Aisha's family and just the story was beautiful and I was in the middle of filming so much in America at that time, but I just wanted to get a Hindi film in and I'm really glad it was that one. I was filming that movie till 5 days before my wedding. 5 days before my wedding. Nature filmmaking is so fascinating to me. It takes so much patience for, crew to go out there and just sit there and watch these animals for days and then to create a story out of it. So I really appreciate the amount of hard work that goes into that as well. So I was very, very proud of it.
Oh, yeah. And of your adopted tiger.
And of my adopted tiger that was in the zoo.
Okay, Citadel. Who watches Citadel? Who watches Citadel? I remember seeing you in Rome and I had just like binged on it with my husband. It was such a great way, to...
A room which was all approvals of my wedding, so khana, linen, invitees, people would come to that room and in between shots I would jump. That's how I planned the wedding while I was working. It's crazy.
That beats my story of interviewing Matt Damon the following day of giving birth.
No, I think that might be slightly more complicated than a wedding.
He was like, were you on holiday? I'm like, I was on maternity leave. He's like, oh, how old is the baby? I was like, she's 2 days old.
No, that's slightly more accomplished than mine.
Let's talk about Matrix Resurrections now, and were you a fan initially, and how was it to be part of that big, crazy universe of the Matrix?
I mean, if you're a 90s kid, you can't avoid the Matrix, right? It changed cinema for us. I remember when I watched it, and I watched it in the theater back in the day, it was like magic, almost. It was like, how do we create that in movies? So to be part of that legacy was amazing, and especially because Keanu and Carrie-Anne and Jada Pinkett, everybody came back and reprised their roles. I was just a fan. I had a great time. I was a fan. I listened to everyone. I was watching them act. Being a part of the film was just one of those iconic things to have in your filmography. So I was very grateful for the opportunity.
good, absolutely. How much do you love voice acting? I know you did it in English for planes, but you had done it in Hindi before, in movies like Frozen, etc. Is that fun for you when the camera's not there and then it's a different acting exercise?
Yeah, I love like voice acting, dubbing. I've always used my voice as an instrument in many different ways. Even in my acting, I've changed my voice many times in characters, like with Jill Mill, for example. So I utilize my voice in different ways, and I think that, you know, even when I dub in different languages, I really enjoy it. So I look for voice work a lot, and I want to do a lot more of it. It's just so much fun because, you know, I've been a part of the audio-visual medium, but when you take the visual out of it and you have to still give the viewers a feeling of the emotion, it's a very exciting, it's a different part of your brain that you have to use, and it's really fun as an artist.
That was Disney's Nature as well.
Yes.
That must have been like
Tiger, it was amazing. I had adopted a tiger many years ago in Jharkhand because the zoo didn't have any money to